first question maybe is why do we need to plan projects? Why is project planning so important in project management? Where there is a saying that if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Well, in some sense, it's true in project management as well. Because for me, I think project planning is about making a complex project more realistic. When we plan a project, basically, we break down the project into simpler activities that we can, schedule. So each activity now has like a start time and finish time. So, and then each activity also has a resource or more than one resource that handles that activity. So basically, when we plan a project, we're actually, making it more simple. As an analogy, if you have a big cake, a project, a complex project, probably you're not going to be confident that you're going to finish with this big cake in time. But when you cut the cake into smaller pieces and then kind of assign this, smaller piece of cake to someone and another piece of cake to another person, and then you set the deadline for each of the cake. So basically, what you do is you're making this complexity much simpler, by breaking down and planning the little bits. So that's a little bit about project planning and why project planning, I think, it's important in project management. Now let's go to project network. Let's discuss more in details. Well, what is a project network? Project network is basically a flow chart that graphically depicts the sequence and the dependencies and start and finish times of each activities, and it also shows the critical path of the project. We will discuss about critical path in more detail, but just to give you an example. So this is a real example of a project network diagram. We have, if you can see here, we have lots of activities. This is just some of them. So if I zoom out, you can see lots of activities in the project. And then if you go down to one or two activities, these boxes, depicts the activities, and you can see there are a couple of important information. At the minimum, I think the activity should have a title. So what is this activity about? Like approved project management plan. I'm sorry, this is in Indonesian, but we're going to move a little bit here. Building learning catalog. So this project is about building a learning system, where first we need to build the list of training or learning catalog, and see if you can see the title of the activity and the start date, also the finish date of each activity. Also, you can see in this network diagram the relationship, or we call it interdependencies, which is described by this arrow and line. So each activity has a predecessor, we call it in project management. So like building learning catalog, it cannot be started before we completed this activity, the previous activity or the predecessor. So it shows us this relationships or interdependencies as well. And then the next thing, we can also add resources or budget here, and this is the duration, and there are we can add more information about each of the activities in the project. And then another thing, and now we're going to discuss a little bit more about the critical and the non-critical path. So if you see, there are two colors boxes here, red boxes and the white boxes. So red boxes here are the critical paths. What does it mean? So being critical path activities, all of the the total duration of the project equals the duration of the critical activities or the activities in the critical path. So what it means, if there's a delay in the red boxes in the critical activities, there will be a delay in the project as well, because they make up the total duration of the project. But if there is a delay in the non-critical activities, like for example, this one, approved project management plan, if there's a delay in that, it won't delay the whole, project, because these activities not critical. So that's that red diagram. It's a good tool, I guess, to show you that there are activities that are critical, and if you delay those activities, then you will delay the project. And also, in the same sense, if we accelerate these activities, the critical activities, the red boxes, then we also can, reduce the duration of the project, the overall project. Of course, there will be costs to accelerate this activities, but if you accelerate the non-critical activities, you're basically most probably you're wasting your money or in resources on accelerating the activities, but actually it doesn't affect the whole duration of the project. We will discuss this in another topic called project crashing. So crashing in project management means accelerating or reducing the duration of a project. We'll discuss that in more details in that topic.